Wake up, wake up. It's time to escape the matrix. I'm going to start off with an example of Andrew Tate. I bet you've heard this story. He's walking to work. I think he used to dump ice. And he saw a guy driving by in a red Ferrari with a beautiful woman in it. And they're going for brunch. It's Tuesday afternoon. And it just hits him. He's like, shit, man, there's people out here living life like that. And I'm going to dump ice for 10 hours for minimum wage. There's moments like this in life where you realize I had a similar experience at work when I used to work at the bank. I was depositing $1 million every day. And this particular day, I had like $3 or $4 million checks that I just kept scanning. And after like the third or fourth check, I'm like drawn back. I'm like, shit, man, there's people out here making millions of dollars that I'm depositing for them for minimum wage. These people are making more money than all the people that are combined working in the bank altogether. All their salaries combined, from top management to me as a teller, they're depositing in just a matter of seconds, millions of dollars. These are the things you have to realize that with money comes freedom, right? If you want the ability to do what you want, when you want, wherever you want, with whoever you want, then you're going to have to put in the work. Financial freedom is going to come with this work, right? You're going to have to put in hours, you're going to have to put in the dedication. And the beautiful thing about building financial freedom for yourself is that you have to build yourself up to be that person that can achieve financial freedom. This is something that shook my mind when I realized it. It's like you're not making the money that you want right now because you haven't become that person that can make that amount of money, right? And there's two types of stresses in this world that we can take on. I was having a conversation with my dad yesterday, and we were just talking about like financial freedom and the ability to do what you want when you want. And we dive into this stuff a lot. We have an open conversation and dialogue. We've gone close, and I share everything with him in terms of that. But let me get to the point. So there's two types of stresses, right? Let's say there's a poverty mindset and an abundance mindset. With poverty, right, when you're living paycheck to paycheck, you're working for someone, you're still stressed out. You still have the stress about making ends meet and saving up for yourself, maybe vacation, or even saving up for marriage or for your kids' education. That's mad stress. And when you're working, when you have your own business, when you're an entrepreneur, there's still gonna be stress with that, right? There's gonna be stress of growing the business, of building a team, of taxes, man. Right? When you're making that much money, when you're bringing in millions of dollars a year, you got to think about how you're gonna save it because the government's gonna take a second just to tax your shit, right? They're gonna take your money every way they can. So choose which option you want. Do you want safety and security, or do you want growth, which is gonna come with the discomfort? Safety and security, you're gonna live a comfortable life. You're gonna be dependent on others, but you're gonna have no growth. You're not gonna have financial freedom. You're not gonna have time freedom, location freedom with those. But if you put yourself in discomfort and grow in growth mode, you're gonna grow. You're gonna have to put in the hours, the dedication, and you're gonna have to improve yourself the way you're doing things. And then the benefits are gonna come with that. That's the way life works. So you have to make this decision right here, right now, what kind of life you want. Or you can watch the rest of this video, but if you haven't decided what kind of life you want, then ultimately you're just wasting your own time. Because I was in the same situation, man, and I've been on this other side of this camera watching people and not putting action to it. So man, take a pen to paper, write it down, watch this video again, but put these four principles into work. These four fundamental principles because they are going to change your life. Number one thing you want to do is start focusing on your sleep. You're probably like, this guy's starting off with some just sleep. Sleep is the most important thing. I say this from experience. I used to sell cars for almost a year, and I burnt myself out. I was obviously not doing the right things in terms of diet, in terms of mindset, and a lot of other things. But the number one thing I was neglecting was sleep. I was sleeping like 6, maybe 7, sometimes 5 hours a night, and I burnt myself out. Literally, like for like a month, I couldn't even get out of bed because like pushed my body to the absolute limit, and your body's like, bro, you need to rest, and your body will tell you when you need more rest. And I bought an Aura ring. It's over there. I can't really show you right now, but this Aura ring tracks my sleep, and I say this because even if you're in bed 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, you're not sleeping those 10 hours. When I'm in bed for 10 hours, my according to my Aura ring, I only sleep deep sleep and get like foundational healing sleep for 8.5, 9 hours. So if you're in bed for 8 hours, you might be in bed for 8 hours. You're not sleeping longer than that. You're sleeping maybe 6.5, 7, depending on how fast you fall asleep and how long you stay asleep. So don't neglect your sleep, because this is the single most important investment that you can make in yourself. All of my mentors, everybody that I research, all the successful people focus on this. You can't move on past this. And if you're not sleeping enough, you're fucking up your mind, your body, and you're not gonna be able to perform as well as the top players in this game are. And if you want to be the best, then that doesn't matter. But if you want to be the best version of yourself, if you want to be taking steps in life to correct the mistakes you've made, or the freedoms that you want to create, then you gotta focus on these simple things. So don't neglect your sleep. Number two, intermittent fasting. Breakfast is probably the biggest scam that we've been sold. And you can look more into this. You can Google it. Kellogg's and like the meat industry, dairy industry, they came together with the doctors, with the medical establishment, and they came up with the concept breakfast because they were losing profits in terms of sales. So they came up with the concept breakfast, and they started advertising it through media, just like where at one point they said cigarettes were healthy. It was the same type of thing, propaganda. They twisted it and threw it out there, and people fucking bought it, just like they drink up everything. And breakfast is the biggest scam that you've been sold. I was sold it, but let's put that aside. What you can do now to be more productive in your day is skip breakfast. Like it's 8:30 a.m. here. I've been up since about 5:30. I haven't had anything to eat. Sometimes I have some tea. Sometimes I have some decaffeinated coffee. I have some maple syrup in it. But other than that, I don't eat till about 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And that's my eating window. So I can get in a lot of work before that. Like pedal to the metal, I'm putting in the work, and I have my to-do task here. The first thing on here was to make the YouTube video, so I got to make this. And I can't skip it. But I'm dialed in. You're so much more focused. Because when you eat, all your all your energy goes into digestion. There's food in your gut. It has to break that down. I'll tie this back into the end of the video, and this will all make sense. So have a specific time between when you eat. For me, it's like 11 a.m. to about 5 p.m. Sometimes it's even like 12 to 4. I'll have like a big meal or a smoothie at 12 o'clock, and then at 4 o'clock I'll have my whole food plant-based cooked meal. All right, and sometimes it's all fruit. Sometimes I'll do one meal a day, depending on the day. So lock your focus in with intermittent fasting. And you can watch way more videos on this, right? Like Huberman, he does a lot of videos on this. And all the greats in the game, man. Everybody that you watch, you know the names I'm talking about. All these guys fast. They don't eat till like they're done the toughest shit of the day. Once that stuff's out of the work. And it puts you in like an animalistic almost mindset. Because when you do eat, you'll feast and you'll eat. You feel like a king. You feel good. But before that, like, what the fuck is the point of breakfast anyways? You haven't even earned that meal. You just got out of bed, right? You go fucking work out, do some shit first, put in the work, put in the dedication, create something first, and then eat. So that's number two. Number three is exercise every day. This goes without saying. Exercise can be anything. For me, I work out 3, sometimes 4 days a week. The rest of the days, I've incorporated now some cardio, some running into my daily routine. I'm doing a showcase the skills challenge with my mentor and with the team. And one of the challenges was I have to do 5 kilometers in 25 minutes. So set little challenges for yourself like this, and when you check off those boxes, man, you get a boost of confidence, right? And next goal after that is like I want to bench press 185 pounds for at least 1 rep before June 1st. So things like this, you have to exercise. Your mind-body connection cannot be neglected. You can put in the hours, you can sit in front of a laptop all day and work 12 hours a day, but if you're neglecting your body, then like the video I made is like you can get all the wealth, you can get all the financial freedom, but if you don't have your health to back that up, then you're not going to be able to enjoy your riches. You're not going to be able to enjoy the freedom that you created for yourself. So it has to be a holistic approach to life, right? Put your health first. Put your exercise first. And this could be anything. Just move your body, right? Move your body around. Do it in a way you like. It could be playing basketball. It could be going to the gym. It could be running. Find something. Find something you enjoy that pushes the needle forward, that makes you sweat, right? Get uncomfortable, man. Like a lot of people in life, they can't even handle the sunlight, man. They can't handle the cold. Oh, they're just so soft, so sensitive. You have to get uncomfortable for growth. And this is all part of creating a resilient mind. This is all about your self-development. If you do these things, then your mind is getting stronger. Then you can sit through other uncomfortable scenarios in life and you can face them head on. Otherwise, if you're just soft, if you can't handle like little petty shit like this in life, if you can't even, some people don't even like sweating. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how the fuck else are you gonna do anything in life if you can't even break a sweat and feel uncomfortable for a few minutes? So challenge yourself, push the needle forward, do it through exercise. Lastly, set a bedtime every single day, same time. Shout out Ted Carr. Thank you for putting me on this. You have to set a bedtime because this creates a deadline for your day. Right? I have a list of stuff in my to-do list. Plan tomorrow. Today I set this up on the night before I fall asleep, and I start checking off the boxes as soon as I get up. So what you want to do is when you set a bedtime, it could be 8 p.m., it could be 9 p.m., it could be 10 p.m., right? That depends on your schedule. What you want to do is you want to complete everything before that. Because if you don't have a deadline in your day, it's like you can just freestyle, you can just loaf. You know, that's why even like in education, there's some things that we can take from school and other places in life that do make sense. When we set a deadline, we have an expectation of to finish those things, and if we don't, we let ourselves down. Yesterday, I was supposed to record this YouTube video, and I didn't. And at the end of the day, I circled it. I was like, man, I let myself down. But today, what I did is, it was the first thing on my menu. Right after my vision, my stretching, and my meditation, I was like, I'm going to pick up the camera, record a video, and then hold myself accountable. So set a bedtime, and this is going to help you level up in the best way possible. Because if I knew these 4 things, like, even a year ago or 2 years ago, I'd be so much more ahead. And it's not to say I can't change the past, right? I'm here for a reason. I'm making these videos because I'm documenting my self-development journey of where I am and where I'm going. And if you're watching this is the early days in this channel, right? This is early days. I'm laying the foundation of greatness, and I want you to come with me. I want you to hold yourself accountable, but also me, right? We're all on a journey to become better. You're watching this video because you want to make your life better in some way, whether that be through freedom, whether that to be health, whether that be through spirituality. As men, we always aspire to become better. And I'm going to use an analogy that really shook my mind when I thought about it. If you're not moving the needle forward, you're dying in a way. Think about like stagnant pool of water. A pool of water that doesn't move, like a pond. It starts stinking. It starts rotting. You know, it becomes gross. It's not something that you want to be around. You can't even stand the smell of it. So same thing with you, man. If you're not creating in a purposeful way, if you're not creating freedom for yourself, if you're not paving a path for yourself and for your loved ones and for your future, then your part of you is dying. Like literally, like you're killing yourself if you're not developing. And then this might be hard hitting because I needed to hear this shit. No one's gonna come to save you, man. You gotta save yourself. And when you start doing simple things like this, just sleeping and not eating all the time and exercising and sleeping, right, at the same time every day. These might seem like simple things, but it's in between the shit that the work comes in, right? This is just like the bare skeleton of your day, like sleeping, eating, exercising, and the bedtime. But it's in between what you do in between those hours what counts, right? It's the input. But this is like the foundation. Like this is like the base of your house. Let's say if you have a strong base, then you can build a beautiful home. You could build a mansion. You could build the home any way you want, and then the work comes in, right? That's where I'm going to make more videos on this. But aspire to be the best man you can. Put this into work. Put this into action. Escape the matrix. Do what you got to do to create the life that you want. And there's no way that you shouldn't be able to do it. Much love. Peace.